Hello everyone and welcome to the Movie Fanatics. My name is Brannock. It's Halloween, the holiday where people trespass on each other's property dressed as Luigi and expect to be given something. Who came up with this? And even if I don't care as much about trick-or-treating as when I was younger, seeing my little brothers enjoy themselves is such a treat. And with 2020 being 2020, it's going to be a little hard to maintain a social distance and have fun while trick-or-treating, but there are some easy workarounds.
Trick or treat!
Happy Halloween! But there's so much to love about Halloween. For one, decorations, either scary or goofy. I love Halloween. There's parties to go to if you get invited to those, and there are songs like The Monster Mash and Thriller by Michael Jackson. Yeah, Christmas kind of beats out Halloween in that aspect, but there's one aspect that I haven't talked about that I absolutely love about Halloween. Movies. Now when you think of a Halloween movie, you probably think of horror, and you're right, but there are so many other movies that are fun to watch around this time that aren't horror. And the movie I want to talk about is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is pretty self-explanatory. They're Ghostbusters. No surprises here. This movie is great for a bunch of reasons. Number one, characters. This is pretty simple. The characters are good. Bill Murray is funny, and he doesn't spout out science nonsense like the other guys.
Ectoplasmic residue.
I don't know what that means. The writers don't know what that means. Winston doesn't care and just wants the money, which I can kind of respect. The characters are all distinct, and they bounce off of each other really well. They're just entertaining to watch. The secretary phone lady is hysterical and one of my favorite characters. Bill Murray is the closest thing we get to a main character. He's in it the most, and he's the closest we get to a protagonist. The acting is really good, sometimes.
Wow! This place is great! When can we move in? You gotta try this pole! I'm gonna get my stuff!
And there's one thing that this movie does that's perfect. Tone. This movie just radiates 80s goofiness. It's so silly. It treats itself like a comedy, and that's a good thing. The key to this movie being good, and something that this movie excels at, is tone. This movie doesn't take itself seriously at all, and that's a good thing. Let's look at a movie that does not excel in that department. The Bye-Bye Man. This movie has a concept that's inherently stupid. Look at the title. The Bye-Bye Man. The film treats itself like it's some dark, dramatic horror film, but the concept can't sustain that because the concept is too ridiculous. The movie's based off an urban legend about a blind albino hobo who has a dog made out of the eyes and tongues of his victims, and he controls the minds of his victims with voodoo magic. This is too ridiculous to be dramatic, and the movie's tone feels confused. Now look at this movie. It's about a team who catches ghosts using big backpacks and plasma guns. The final boss is a giant marshmallow. This film would suck if it treated itself like a dramatic, epic action flick, but the film treats itself like it's a goofy comedy, and it works because the concept of Ghostbusters is silly. The movie has a tone that's consistent throughout as well. Now let's look at another movie that does not have a consistent tone throughout. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm going to talk about this movie in my Spider-Man movie ranking that will come out someday, but this movie has a tone that changes so much, so quickly. Like, these two scenes are like 10 minutes apart from each other. It is so bad. This movie has a pretty silly tone throughout the entire thing. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. Just look at the scene where the demon dog thing is in a room at a party. In any other horror movie, this would be a dramatic, dark scene. But that's not what this movie is, so they make a joke about it. And it's one of my favorites.
Got 15,000 left on the house at 8%. So they're okay.
The most dramatic it gets is in the final battle, but it's still silly because of the best thing in the movie. Giant marshmallow. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is amazing. I really wished he got more screen time. He's insane. He's foreshadowed very subtly early on. When the eggs cook in the lady's kitchen, there's a bag of Stay Puft marshmallows right beside it. And the effect was done with practical models, and it still looks fantastic. Speaking of which, the effects in this movie are... The use of CGI is pretty scarce, but it's in there, and it just looks bad in my opinion. I know this isn't the movie's fault, it came out decades ago, but it still has aged poorly. Slimer and the Ghostbusters streams from their guns looks fine, but the demon dog thing is not that. The practical model they used is really amazing, but the CGI shots of it moving around are not. Now, I do have a few problems with the movie. It's definitely not perfect. Like I said earlier, I'm not really crazy about Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stantz. He's not terrible or anything, but he's not that great. I haven't seen him in anything else, though, but from what I've seen, the score isn't really anything special. It just sounds like generic music. And once Winston joins the team, he doesn't really do anything. He was fine for his moments, and he was funny, but I just wish they gave him more screen time. But we need to talk about one more thing. Most people probably know this more than the actual movie. The song. I knew all the words to the song before I even saw the movie. It plays at every Halloween party ever. Do we really need to hear it every single time? It's a good song, I get it. It's catchy, but who cares? It doesn't matter. It's so overplayed. I get it. Chill out. Just stop. 8 out of 10. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching it. If you're confused by the title, double feature, what does that mean? Well, we're doing 2 videos. One for me, one for Braden. He's reviewing Halloween, so if you want to go check that out, please do. Please give it a watch. Spider-Man ranking coming soon. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Have a happy Halloween. This is Brannock from the Movie Fanatics, signing off.